Welcome to the weekend. My name is Brian, and I'm here just because I'm completely bored out of my mind. Not so much bored out of my mind, but having worked a long day at work, and really feeling like I just need to talk about something. Why not? And why not? So I just decided to jump online because it's been a while since I've actually streamed anything, and it's been a long time since I've actually worked on anything to be able to stream, which is why I'm throwing up errors right off the bat in this thing. But if you are joining me for the first time, my name is Brian, and I actually have a little bit of experience with the podcasting, but it was always audio, trying to move into the video stuff and doing the streaming and stuff. It takes a lot more work to do video, it seems. Particularly when you want to do the creative type of stuff that I like to do personally, making skits, doing things like that. But I appreciate you guys actually joining me here. Of course, PlayStation Portal news on my screen. I just noticed that. That was from an old podcast I did. Surely that's not what we're going to talk about today. Instead, we're going to be talking about console wars and kind of the things that are going on, because I'm so busy with my real life job and the responsibilities that come with that, and then all this stuff going on at the house and stuff. And then, of course, Starfield came out, and I've been playing the hell out of that. Mortal Kombat 1 came out, playing the hell out of that. So pretty much all my podcasting stuff I've sort of set to the side because of all the distractions of things that I find fun, which actually brings me to console wars. It's really funny because when I'm at work and things like that, and like I said, I have a lot of responsibility at work, and I'm constantly running back and forth, and pretty much the only thing I can do is on the run just throw open Twitter and throw open Reddit and see what's going on there, what people are talking about. And something that I've noticed is happening quite a bit lately. There are so many news stories going on right now. It's so busy in the video game world. With a lot of transitions happen, everything from Unity shitting the bed with trying to charge as much as they can for whatever services they offer, to the Activision acquisition by Microsoft, to even Sony being hacked today, with all of their files actually being thrown out there and put up for sale on the dark web. So much is happening on a daily basis, and then you kind of watch and you see, because of the ridiculousness that is the For You tab on Twitter, now known as X or whatever the hell it is. Some of the reactions are just absolutely hilarious to me. And the reason why they're so funny, I think, is simply because when you get into a topic of discussion, something that people like, they have a general idea of how they would like to actually see things unfold. And usually what ends up happening is those people get so anchored down by what they think is right, what they think should happen, that they can't accept the things that do happen. And you see this in all walks of life. It's not just video games, and I'm 44 years old, and so like I've seen a lot and done a lot and made a lot of mistakes in my life, and how I perceive myself, how I perceive others, and various things like that. And a lot of it's just having to learn and swallow your own pride and understand like how difficult humility is, and yet how important it is. And that's the one thing, being online constantly and being able to just put your thoughts out immediately before you even had a chance to really develop those thoughts is really detrimental to any discussion that you want to have online, which is where we come down to the console wars and how they work. It is hilarious to me how invested people get with their consoles of choice. Literally, they tie and weave their identities into this plastic box, into this community that, in all reality, whether or not you have conversations with somebody online, for the most part, as much as you want to have a community with those people, they're not investing in each other. It's one of those things where you watch some of these people and you see people basically begging for the attention of somebody with tens of thousands of followers on Twitter, or even on this platform here, to where I'm looking right now, and specifically XQC is 33,000 viewers in this video right now. And if you go there and you watch, and all these guys and the people commenting, it's like you can't even call that a community, because literally as you go through the chat, there's absolutely no opportunity to participate in that chat, because it's literally scrolling so fast. So you're not actually bonding with anybody in that. You're not having a discussion that you're going to gain anything from anything that anybody is saying. The things that we say, for the most part, aren't going to have any impact. And that's kind of sad when you think about it. It's almost defeatist, as we all try to get to that point where, oh yeah, look at me, I have 37,000 people watching me at any given time. But you're not actually getting a connection with any of them. That said, the majority of my streams and podcast views and things like that, they're not getting anything, but I'm not doing it for anything more than what I'm actually doing it. I understand that I'm not going to, at my age, at my appearance, at my ability to keep up with things on a regular basis. I don't have a staff here. I am the staff here. And I don't do the One Up Club. I'm talking about my house. My wife, who is an actress, is out there and plays, and she is literally going to be busy from this point, well, technically from 2 months ago till probably deep into January, that I won't even get to see her. So anything that happens in the house, dinner, grocery shopping, stuff like that, a lot of that is falling on my shoulders. So as much as I would like to be here on a regular basis and broadcast twice a week, 4 hours at a time, or even a half hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's just not always possible. That being said, whenever you have a community, an actual community that you identify with people, and you communicate with people, and you build that bond between people, what you can get out of that is great. But like I was saying, when you go online and you see these guys, and it's a bunch of people trying to get noticed, and they're doing it in the name of the console wars, and it's really amusing to me, because I see all these people say stuff, and one of my favorite things to do, and I don't engage very often, sometimes I do, I'll just see something and I'll be like, yeah, but that's natural. But you see some of these people who are outright hating one direction or the other, and then you go and you look down their actual timeline and see what kind of commentary they offer, and kind of input they actually put forth. And you see nothing but this vitriolic hatred, and you never see the things being discussed that we enjoy, that we like. This generation of consoles, yeah, okay. I'm back to Xbox this generation. I had a PS4 before I had an Xbox One. I just go back and forth. I had the original PlayStation, the 2 versions of it. I had, beyond that, the Sega Genesis, and then I had a Nintendo. And I've never been one to really go and just basically anchor myself to blind loyalty of one or the other. Whatever the game is, if I'm into it, I'm into it. If I'm not going to get into it. And that's what a lot of people seem to not be able to do. Because my thing is, like, I would much rather go out and play a game like Jade Empire for the original Xbox, and then, or go and jump into the PlayStation and just play some Ghost of Tsushima, and it's like, just take that experience for what it is for me, and not use my experience and my enjoyment of something as an excuse to shit on somebody else for enjoying whatever it is that they enjoyed. Unfortunately, not all people look at it that way. There is no two answers. You cannot simply say Microsoft has a good thing going with Game Pass. We should all embrace this. And then turn around and say, but yeah, I wish they had God of War. Well, yeah, okay. Wouldn't it be great if they all had everything? It would be, and that's the point. And so whenever you see people engaging in this tit for tat, acting like they're some sort of fucking Henry Kissinger, who fully understands the economics of absolutely every massive macroeconomic system and microeconomic system, acting like they have some sort of a complete grip on the actual economic impact and costs and overheads of all the Game Pass shit that literally just came out, acting like they can offer some sort of an educated comparison between PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, or basically analyze how much a company needs to make to be profitable and make it worth it. None of those things should concern the majority of gamers. The only thing that should concern the majority of gamers is putting that disc in the machine or downloading that program on your computer or your PlayStation or your Xbox, or inserting the cartridge in your Nintendo, and being assured that the time that you're going to spend on that machine benefits you in the absolute best way that it can. Because as of right now, the thing that everybody gets wrapped up in the console wars is taking a side. The only side we should be taking is whether or not the money and the time and the effort that we spend, that we put into the games that we want to play, ends up worth it to us as individuals. I don't care if John down the way really likes his freaking Twisted Metal for PS1. I don't care if the other person, whatever, just make up a name, Patrick, downstairs, thinks that game is absolutely terrible. Because those people are getting what they get out of it, and they have the option to either continue going on or just not. It's really, really interesting to me, because when you actually sit back and you want to talk about winning the console wars or whatever, there's only really one way to win the console war, to win it. And that is to enjoy whatever it is you play. That's to go out there and have fun and share the fun and the joy and what you get out of shit. Because it doesn't matter if it's gaming. It doesn't matter if you want to go out there and watch an NFL football game or strap on your skates and go play hockey. Whatever it is, if you bring to the table the things that make you joy, that is how you advance any topic. It's the only way to do it. Anytime you spread hate, you end up with this nice divided world, because that hatred, that dislike, that discontent, and not allowing somebody else to enjoy whatever it is that they're enjoying, there's absolutely no positive that can come from that. I mean, like, literally, there's no positive. What are you going to do? You're taking joy from somebody. So how are you benefiting any community whatsoever? And the fact that people can't just sit back, stop themselves, and ask themselves that very question is why the console wars is such a silly prospect. Really, that's all I had to say after watching just all night long, seeing all this news come out about Sony's hacking, and watching people try to analyze sales numbers for Starfield or whatever. I don't care how many copies Starfield sells. I've never cared how much Skyrim sells. Never cared how much The Last of Us sells. It does not matter. That game exists. That game has given me an opportunity to play it. You got, what, is Detroit Become Human somehow no longer relevant because it didn't sell 25 million copies? No, that's not the case at all. And everybody knows it. It's just everybody wants to feel self-important. And that's a sad existence to have whenever you can sit there and instead say, I really enjoyed this game. You should try it out. And then you should come back to me and we can have a conversation about it. We can talk about the things that we like, about the things that we dislike. Because let's be honest, this game, this one, it's a good game. Is it a generational game? I don't know. It seems like it at this point because this generation of games so far to this point has not been strong. The broader impact, the future impact that Starfield will have, who can predict that? Nobody can predict that. When Skyrim first came out, people had a lot of fun with it, in the same way that Starfield has. Now, once I'm done playing with it, will I come back to it? Maybe I will. Maybe I won't even finish it. That doesn't mean that I haven't had fun playing it to this point. I don't feel an obligation to finish any game. The Outer Worlds, when I was playing it, I enjoyed it. But then after a while, I just grew tired of it. And I stopped playing. Does that mean that I didn't enjoy it anymore? No, I absolutely enjoyed the first 20 hours or so of it. Just like so far that I've enjoyed too many hours of Starfield, and I know that. I'm getting to a point now where I'm kind of not burnt out with it, but I'm realizing some of the mistakes that I've made with the game in how I've played it and how it's impacting not every aspect, but some of the aspects in a negative way. Like, I get that. But the point is, I've had a lot of fun playing this game. And I think a lot of people have. And that does not make them stupid, or it doesn't make them somehow less of a gamer for buying into this game versus anything else. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. I mean, those are... If you don't enjoy the second one as much as the first one, does that mean you didn't enjoy the first one? That's silly speak. And it's something that we grasp on so much with the console wars, and it's absolutely absurd. But with that being said, I will tell you that I am having fun with Starfield. I am having fun. I'll tell you a game that you need to play that that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. It's more of an independent game. It's 12 minutes. I started playing that a couple months ago, and it's a short game. And I play it periodically just to go back into it, and it's a lot of fun just doing the mysteries. And that's one of those independent games, those indie titles that you kind of dive into and you don't realize how much you're going to like it. The other one is Night Shift, I believe, or Night Call, something like that. I always forget which one it is. But it's basically a game where you drive around as a taxi driver, and you have to solve a murder or else it's going to get pinned on you. And I really like that game because you just drive around and have conversations with the people you pick up in the taxi cab. So if you played either one of those ones and you have anything to share about it, by all means let me know, because I really, really, really enjoy those ones, and they're titles that a lot of people simply have not bought into, and it's a shame because they are smaller titles. They're from smaller groups, but we're always talking about the AAA because why wouldn't we? They're investing the most money into us, and we almost feel like a pull to discuss those games because everybody already has a pretty good idea of what they are and what they're supposed to be at that point. And so everybody can feel part of the group because they come with a little bit of knowledge right out of the gate. But I'm always looking for new games to play, smaller games, independent titles. I'm not a Call of Duty person. I'm not a shooter person. I literally only play Overwatch when my son asks me to play with him. My son is incredible at Overwatch. But, and I don't say that as hyperbole. I mean, he's like the Grandmaster rank on like all three types of play with the tanks and the whatever damage per second and support or whatever. He's just really good. But I would much rather listen to him tell me about the things that he likes and dislikes about the game when he's coming from a positive point of view and perspective of knowing what it is that he likes, what he doesn't like, and not spending his time shitting on people who may not be as good at the game or might have a different taste and flavor. So you want to win the console wars? That becomes your priority. That's something that you want to do. Heed my advice. Win it through positivity. Talk about the things you enjoy. Forget the things that you hate. And then just allow others to enjoy and share their experiences with you, because they might offer a perspective in a game or a console, God forbid, that you hadn't thought of before, that actually sounds interesting to you, or lets you look at it in a slightly different light. Anyway, my name is Brian, and I thank you for taking the time to spend a few minutes with me as I kind of vent after a long day at work. And we will do this again a couple times a week. Just try to get on and then talk about some of the news stories, because I would like to dive into Unity. I'd love to talk about some of the other stuff that's going on, especially once this hacking business comes to light and comes to its conclusion with Sony. Very interesting stuff. Kind of a flashback to 2011 when they had their big data breach. But with all kinds of Microsoft leaks and now Sony leaks, the only thing we haven't seen a leak on is Nintendo, because they probably save all of their stuff on cartridges at Nintendo. So it's harder to hack. Who knows? Who knows? But we're looking to talk about some of that stuff as it unfolds. And I'm sure by the end of the week we'll have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. But my name is Brian. I hope life is treating you well. And if it's not, I hope you realize that tomorrow will be better. And that you're still around to enjoy it with the rest of us. And if not, then reach out. I'm hard of hearing, but I will listen. So this has been me, part of the One Up Club, right here on Kick, on YouTube, and at various different social media platforms that I'm just not thinking about right now. So have a good day, and we will talk to you sometime later.